Hey there, it's Maddie at West, and I wanted to start January 2020 with a reintroduction to me, um, and just to let you know some of the things that are coming ahead for 2020. So, I'm going to start with just filling you in a little bit about me and my coaching, and then I want to turn it to you and to find out a little bit more about you. And for those of you who are struggling in relationships and really want support, I'd love to hear, particularly what you are after. So let me start with me. Now, number one, I do have a bit of a disclaimer. I've got major issue right now with a swollen mouth. So if I don't sound normal or I start drooling or something out of the other, that's why. Anyway, so me, I'm a relationship coach and a life coach in general. I am a Martha Beck certified life coach since 2009, so it's been 11 years, which is hard to believe. I'm a former teacher that really still loves teaching and helping people grow and learn and use what they've learned to better themselves. So I struggled with actual teaching in the classroom because it didn't grasp quite the areas that I truly love, which is personal development and really figuring out who we are, who we want to be, the gifts that we have for the world, how to find our happiness and joy by digging deep into the things that are meant for us to grow through. So I'm a huge believer in challenges are here for us. They're here to support us. And I really believe that it's important for us to see life in a way that is here supporting us and guiding us. And we can't control the things that come to us, but we can control how we deal with them once they've hit us. And I think that's the biggest piece in my role as a life coach and a relationship coach. Really learning how to step into our power, learning how to be the creator of our lives, and learning to handle change and challenges that come our way, because they will. There's nothing we can do to stop many of those things, but we definitely can create the result of deal and how we deal with it. So my passion is definitely to dive deep with clients, to really get to the root of their issues, to uncover the things that are holding them back, their roadblocks, through looking at the beliefs that they have, getting clear on their thinking, getting clear on how the power of their thoughts not the power of their thoughts, but that their thinking creates their reality, and how to really understand that and what to do to really create the reality that you do want, rather than the default one that is just coming from thoughts that you really haven't chosen but have become default for you. And I really believe deeply in the power of spiritual growth through the conflicts that we face, and that we are here to continue to grow. And these opportunities are here for us and not against us, that there's something wrong with us. It's that you're ready to grow into the next thing that you want by facing this challenge that is in front of you. And I think that's the meaning of life. I think it's what we're here to learn and how we're meant to grow. I also am a huge believer in understanding change, and that change is one of the constants in life, and that we are always dealing with different types of change. I just joined a group the other day about being a mother of a teen boy. And so my son, who's 15, almost 16, and the changes that are happening with all of that, how he's growing up, and his needs for me have changed drastically. And both of my two children, my 14-year-old daughter, they don't need me in the same way. So I'm learning what that means and who I am now in this new phase of my life as my kids go into the new phase of their own life. So I really, really believe that change is something that we need to know the skills of understanding, um, really how change goes through a very set stage, 4 stages, and how do we handle that, and what do we need in order for us to really be able to get through change so that we are becoming more and more who we are meant to be through each change. And again, it's one of those things we can't control. So understanding it and learning it is really, I think, the biggest gift we can give to ourselves. So that's my coaching. I work one-on-one with clients primarily. I have a signature program that goes for 12 weeks, and it's very much rooted in looking at your current situations and how we can move you forward based on that. We don't tend to go into the past, except for if it's affecting you today, and how we can really realign it so that it's creating what you want moving forward. I work around relationships, but usually with only the woman in the relationship or the male, because I really have a belief that it's important for us to do our inner work before we focus on who we can be in that relationship. And one of the biggest roadblock blocks that most of us have in relationships is we get stuck in focusing on our partner instead of ourselves, which is the only place we really have the ability to really move into creating what we want for ourselves. So I help you to reconnect to yourself, to see where your own roadblocks are, to see what you want to create, and then from there we move into what that looks like within your relationship. So that's the biggest way that I do my coaching. In 2020, however, I'm looking forward to creating a few more options for you. One of the ways is I'm going to be doing some smaller courses and group kind of coaching situations, as well as some different challenges to get you well on your way before, to start to really begin to create the changes right here, right now within your marriage. And I would really, really love to hear more about what you're after, what you would want support with in your relationship or in your life, the things that are affecting you. You can, let me know. I'm very open to and excited about creating something that really serves you in the best possible way. So as well in the future, moving forward, starting with this video, and it's actually going to become a series, I want to be able to give you tools and insights that you can listen to and watch and then begin to create the changes you want for yourself. So this is the opportunity for you to share any questions you have, and I can use that as a starting point to create a video to answer that question. So you have a way forward in whatever challenge you're facing. And I would really, really love any sort of feedback about what you're wanting in the future. So send me a message. You can direct message me here on Facebook or on Instagram. If we're here, I'm hoping to be in both places, which is another new thing for me. So Instagram is a brand new undertaking that I'm really wanting to do more regularly. And I'm hoping to connect you more and more and more. I have a huge desire to connect deeply with the people that I connect with. I'm an introvert who doesn't do well with surfacey anything. So if you're okay with going deep, I'm the person that is willing to go deep with you. Absolutely. I love that intensely. And then I just want to share a few facts about me, some odd, strange facts. Not necessarily odd, but just give you a bigger picture of who I am. So I'm a Northern girl. I grew up in the Northwest Territories of Canada, and now living in on Vancouver Island in Canada, in BC. And even though we don't get a lot of snow, we've got a glorious amount of snow today that I love to look at, not so much be in anymore now that I'm been gone from the Northwest Territories for quite a while. I have a huge passion for Mexico and Australia, where I've lived both of those countries, and hope to one day be back living in Mexico, combining that with living in Canada. I've got two children, as I was saying, a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old. And, navigating my relationships with my husband and my children and my family of origin have all been the root of why I've become a relationship coach. And it has helped me intensely to really get to know myself and to be open to be able to create relationships with other people from this introverted, tend to avoid type person, because I go deep. And if you don't want to go deep with me, I struggle to really connect. So I've had to learn what that means for me and how I want to show up in the world with other people. I'm very fascinated with different typing type things. I really love things like Myers-Briggs. I'm an INFJ. I am a type 2 energy type. So this is all based on an energy typing. There's 4 types. And this has helped me so much understand that the way I am naturally is okay. And the way, for example, my husband, which is very different from me, is just his way of being his way. It doesn't mean that it's something with me that he's upset with or disagreeing with. It's just that we're different energy types. So once I really realized this, along with the Myers-Briggs, it really helped me to accept him, to accept myself, and to find solutions for how we could best create a relationship that worked for both of us. I'm also into things like Kolbe. So Kolbe is another different type of assessment, and it helps you understand your way of doing. So I'm a quick start. I often jump into doing things really quickly, and then think about them after, which isn't always the best way to do things, but it is very aligned with who I am. And as I've learned that I'm very different from, for example, other coaches I'm very close with, that they do things in a different way from me, and that my way is okay. So much of this type of work is important for me because it helps me to really accept me, which is an INFJ difficult thing to do. Really embracing who I am and understanding myself. So that's a bit of my background and why I'm so fascinated about it all. And I guess, really what sums me up is a desire for, and a mission really, for creating more love in the world, and understanding that love is a verb and it requires action every day to really begin to create what we want. It's not like the movies. It's not like, songs and different things about all this romance and happily ever after without the work. It really does require consistent work and consistent openness to change, and understanding that we can create the connection we want, but it needs to start with ourselves. So I'm really on a mission to help women and men to redefine what love means to them and have a way that they can create it on their own without needing the other person to be a part of this until the other person is ready. So if you want to know more about what I do, I'd love for you to join me in a couple places. You can join me on my Facebook page, Mediat West Coaching, or you can go onto Instagram, Mariette West, or you can sign up for my list where you'll have access to all my videos that are going to be starting to come out weekly. So I look forward to hearing from you. Remember, if you've got any ideas that you want support with, please let me know, send me a message, and I will do my best to put that into a video for you. All right, thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to all that 2020 has for us. All right, take care. Bye.